Hello Pokemon Pit Beta, my name is Experience Share and today I'm going to bring you yet another upload. It's gonna be a Pokemon Showdown match that happened in the underused tier. Now as for the teams, I am running Nasty Plot Mew, Specially Defensive Rhyperior, Standard Bulky Frostlass, Choice Scarf Heracross, Choice Specs Raikou and a Stall Breaking Crobat. And my opponent was running Crobat, Bronzong, Darmanitan, Gligar, Shaman, and Kingdra. Now looking at threats, if I lose my Rhyperior, Darmanitan rolls over my team, and same for Kingdra. I really don't have a direct answer for Kingdra in any shape or form, so I'm gonna need to watch out for that and play aggressively. As for the remaining Pokemon on his team, I really don't have too much trouble. Crobat is easily dealt by most of my team members. Bronzong, the only thing can do is set up rocks. Gligar is run over by Frostlass, taunted by Crobat. Mew can also handle it in Raikou. Shaman can be a little bit of a nuisance, but as long as I keep my Crobat alive, I shouldn't have too much to worry about. Now, looking at leads, I was predicting him to not lead off with Bronzong knowing that I have the Crobat. So I was assuming he would lead off either with Gligar or Crobat. So with that mindset, let's go into the game. I do lead off with Frostlass and he leads off with his Crobat, so this is a good matchup for me. If he wants to taunt, fine, I'm gonna go for a nice beam, and that's exactly what happens. I'm gonna get a super effective hit off, and I know he's gonna U-turn, but nothing on his team appreciates taking an Ice Beam that well, so I'm gonna go for a nice beam regardless. He switches into Darmanitan to threaten me out with the Flare Blitz. Since this is early in the game, I really don't think he's gonna go for a superpower, so I'm gonna switch to Rhyperior to take any hit he goes for. He decides to go for a Flare Blitz. He should have gone for the U-turn in my opinion, but hey, that's just his mindset. I'm gonna set up my Stealth Rocks here as he switched to Shaman to threaten me with the super effective Seed Flare. Therefore, I'm gonna switch to Crobat to take it as he sets up a Substitute, which is a very interesting. And seeing Substitute, I assumed he was going to be a subseeding Shaman. So I go for a taunt as he surprises me and goes for a Psychic. So he's a offensive Shaman with Substitute and leftovers. I guess you don't see that too often. I'm gonna go for a U-turn, predicting the Psychic, and I'm gonna go into my Frostlass to take it because Raikou would not appreciate taking a Seed Flare afterwards. I'm gonna go for an Ice Beam because I need to get damage on this Shaman. He's probably gonna go for a Seed Flare and knock me out. He does get a crit here, not sure if it mattered, probably not. I really didn't care. And at this point, I can go into pretty much anything I want. I'm gonna go into Crobat and threaten it with the Brave Bird, but I'm gonna go for U-turn knowing that he's going to switch. So Bronzong comes in. I'm gonna go into my Raikou to get a Specs Volt Switch off because that is going to do a massive amount of damage. And I know he's going to either set up rocks or go for a Toxic. So I'm gonna go to Crobat as he goes for a Toxic here. I was predicting more the Stealth Rocks, sort of the in-between rocks thing, but I guess he doesn't. Now, I need to get his Stealth Rocks out of the field, so I was willing to let my Crobat die for the sake of getting a taunt off and not letting him set up the Stealth Rocks. So he does predict my taunt, goes for a Gyro Ball, knocks me out. I'm gonna go into Mew, set up a Nasty Plot as he goes into his Darmanitan. I know I can take one hit, so I'm gonna go for a Dark Pulse because it hits anything for neutral damage. He decides to fodder off his Shaman here, so I'm completely fine with that. And he's gonna go back into his Darmanitan. Because of the amount of HP he has, I'm pretty sure he's gonna go for a Flare Blitz because if he U-turns, he's gonna die next turn when coming in because of Stealth Rock's damage. So he goes for Flare Blitz. I go into my Rhyperior to take it, and at this point I can go for whatever move because he's gonna die to recoil from Flare Blitz anyway. So now I'm pretty sure he's gonna send in his Kingdra, but at this point I don't have anything to take hits from it, so I know he's probably going to set up predicting my switch. Therefore I'm gonna go for a Dragon Tail to phase it out and get a lot of damage, 52%. That's neat. Unfortunately, I do send it in against Gligar. I Dragon Tail it out into Gligar, and this is gonna mean he's gonna get his Stealth Rocks up. So I guess Bronzong did not have Stealth Rocks after all. In any case, I'm gonna go for a Nasty Plot because I think he can't do too much to me. But he surprises me, goes for a U-turn and gets a free switch into his Kingdra. This is bad because I'm gonna need to sack 2 Pokemon in order to stall out the rain, meaning that I'm gonna be left with 2 against 3 of his Pokemon. I decide to fire off Rhyperior because it's not gonna do anything against Gligar or Bronzong, and I have stuff for Crobat regardless. So at this point, the rain is off and I can go into whatever I want. But the thing is, if I go into Heracross, he's gonna go into Gligar next, and then he can go for an Earthquake because he knows he can take any hit I want to throw at him, and he's going to threaten my Raikou with a super effective hit. So my only choice here is to go into Raikou and bait him to go into his Bronzong, because I know Heracross can take a hit from Bronzong, and if I need to switch out, I will into my Raikou, get a free switch or probably on a double switch, and then threaten his entire team. So to win this game, I need to predict every single move he does from this point on. So let's go and see how it goes. I send in my Raikou and I'm gonna lock myself into extra sensory just to bait him to go into his Bronzong, and that is exactly what he does here. Now I know I can take every single hit with my Heracross, so what I'm gonna do is switch into it, take whatever. I think he goes for Toxic. Oh, he goes for an Earthquake, never mind. I know he's gonna switch to Gligar or Crobat at this point, so I'm gonna double switch into my Raikou to threaten him respectively with an Electric type stab or the Hidden Power Ice. Well, I think I said it in the wrong order, whatever. Even if he goes for Roost, I'm gonna get a Volt Switch off because I know he would not switch into Gligar at that point. He's left at 15 HP, now I can go into Heracross and go for a Stone Edge, get a Moxie Boost, and gonna send in his Gligar, which is hit for neutral damage. Unfortunately though, I missed the Stone Edge and he gets a Roost off. This would have been problematic if I didn't hit this Stone Edge and kill it off. I was surprised, I didn't think it would take him out from that range. I thought I had lost the game there, but in any case, at this point there's another thing which should be said. I'm gonna go for a Stone Edge and I'm going to stay in until I die, because if he somehow predicts my switching, goes for an Earthquake, I lose the game because Heracross cannot take out Gligar because he does pack the Roost. So what I need to do is get as much Stone Edges as possible on this Bronzong, go into Raikou, pray to God I can live an Earthquake and 2-hit KO Bronzong with Hidden Power Ice, and then kill off Gligar with another Hidden Power Ice. So this is my game plan here. I'm gonna go for it. Stone Edge does around 16% as he goes for the Toxic. Doesn't really come into play whatsoever. I'm gonna keep going for Stone Edges. I'm not missing those, which is very nice. He goes for an Earthquake. I don't know why he didn't go for Gyro Ball. Whatever, it's his choice. He probably predicted my switch to Raikou there. He's gonna go for another Earthquake because he knows Toxic will kill me off in this turn. And he's left at 20% now. I did a calc and he could have gotten a kill, I think, with a little bit of attack investment. So I assumed that I would be able to live, but he goes for a Toxic here. I don't know why he did this. I guess he thought he would have been able to take 2 hits. But since I'm Joy Specs, I know I could have 2-hit KO Bronzong from that point. So I'm gonna get a kill. He sends in his Gligar, and I'm going to Hidden Power Ice for the win. So this was a very close and good game. It required a lot of prediction on my part to win it, even though he kind of made a misplay in the end. I was not sure if I'd be able to take an Earthquake or not, but I'm pretty sure I would have, because standard Bronzong does not pack attack EVs. So I hope you enjoyed this narration. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later. Peace.